in the opening kickoff and moving. They give it to Griffin, shakes a tackle, got some yardage. Over the 25, inside the 24, maybe to the 23-yard line. It'll be a first down, Blue Devils. And I think they'll spot it at the 24, but it's still 1st and 10 for the Blues.
Be sure to stay tuned at halftime, folks. I've got an interview with Chris Stafford, the senior tailback who's sidelined tonight with a broken thumb. And Chris, a very good interview and had some insightful things to say about his injury and about this football team.
Boy, did he run well last week. Tressler goes left, C comes right. Lebanon again moving from your left to right. Pitt calling the signals. And Pitt down the line on the option. Going to turn it on the keeper and get 5 yards at least, maybe 6. He goes inside the 20 to at least the 19, and let's see where they're going to spot the football. They will spot it a little inside the Springfield 19-yard line. A gain of about 5 by Pitt on the keeper.
Good-looking run by Damon Pitt, the junior quarterback. Lebanon running the option play, and Pitt's a guy you've got to tackle. He may not go 30 yards on you, but he's going to be good for 4, 5, 6 yards on that option play. And
the Blue Devil line looking well once again tonight, blocking extremely well on this opening drive. Pitch back to Griffin. Got a little room, shakes inside. He's at the 15, still on his feet. Over the 14, down to the 11-yard line goes Joel Griffin. They'll spot it, I think, at the 12. But it's going to be first down and 10 for the Blue Devils at that point as Griffin keeps ripping off yardage. He gets out of that backfield in a hurry.
He sure does. Terry, what about Joel so far?
Tommy, that's his 5th carry of this series. 5 carries. He's already picked up 42 yards.
So he's got a good night going for him. Blue Devils send Tressler left and bring C right to the short side of the field. 1st and 10 at the Springfield 12. And Pitt with a pitch back to Griffin. Needs a block, doesn't get it, gets a yard, no more this time. Springfield with the best look on defense that time that they've had all evening is coming up to make that stop is Tremaine Turner. Is that freshman you were talking about a moment ago?
Yeah, that's him, Clyde. He's a good one. 5'7", 165 pounds of a 9th grader. They line him up at that rover back position. Bandit linebacker, one of those outside players in this 4-4 look.
2nd down. Virtually 10 for Lebanon. They did not give Griffin much. This time they send C and Tressler wide to the left. And down the line with a pitch to Griffin. He's got some speed, turns it inside, hit at the 10 and dropped inside the 9. They'll spot it at about the 9-yard line. So Springfield got their sights evidently now set on Griffin carrying the ball, and you might look for that sophomore a little bit, Reeves.
Well, that's the beauty of the offense. If you start looking wide, then the fullback can hurt you right in the middle.
Blue Devils will have a 3rd down 7 now from the Springfield, we'll call it the 9. Length of the football inside the Springfield 9 as the Blue Devils begin knocking on the door. And again, they send double wideouts left to the short side of the field. That is C and Tressler, and evidently they may be going to bring them across the end zone. Now we got a whistle and a timeout going to be called by Lebanon.
Hello, I'm Laura Pack, a senior varsity football cheerleader at Lebanon High School. We are here with the First United Methodist staff to thank them for their support and present to them this Blue Devil football souvenir.
First Church would like to wish the Blue Devils a successful season.
We invite you to our Sunday school and worship services.
Come see us at our new Family Life Center opening this fall.
Go Big Blue!
Wideouts to the right and Pitt. Hot pass. Touchdown, Lebanon, as he hits Carson at the one and he sidesteps into the end zone. They spread it out and then go to Carson on the quickie.
Nobody lined up to cover Elliott Carson. The near side linebacker had to come out and take him, and that's a mismatch. Elliott Carson at 6'4", just ranging up there to catch the football. And our quarterback, Pitt, with his first touchdown pass of the year. Now for the PAT call, here's John.
Thank you, Tommy. Jeff Gannon in for the long snap. Pitt to hold, Presley to kick. The snap. The kick is up. It is good. Lebanon leads 7-0 this half.
I'm Allie Lanning, a senior football cheerleader, and we're here with J.R. Hobbs & Sons Realty to award them a Blue Devil souvenir for their support of the Lebanon High School football team.
On behalf of J.R. Hobbs & Sons Realty and Auction Company, I'd like to wish the Lebanon Blue Devils a Clinic Bowl season.
Go Big Blue!
3 yards and 11 plays as Damon Pitt throws his first career touchdown pass. This one to Elliott Carson for 9 yards. J.L. Presley adds the extra point. 6:06 left in the first quarter. Lebanon leading Springfield 7-0.
And Presley will kick it off for the Blue Devils. Back deep. for the Jackets, and I can't get a number. I think it's 32, but we'll check that for you in a moment. The kick is long and deep, going to the short man at the 10. Back to the 15. Lebanon gives chase. Got a little room out to the 20. Over the 24, out to the 25-yard line. Dropped at that point. Number 42, and I think that's Kelly.
Look like Kelly and Bowers combining on that tackle, Clyde, as Springfield up man number 25, a guy we don't have on the roster, takes the kickoff, one of the short men, and I don't have any idea who that guy is.
They're going to do that to you at least 2 or 3 times a year. Somebody's not going to have a number listed. We'll check on that and try to get you a name. Springfield will work first time they've got their hands on the football. The quarterback is Ken Clemens, a 5'10", 160-pounder, and he'll bark the signals, hand off to his halfback through there. Not much through that Lebanon line. He'll punch it maybe to the 26, 27, couple of yards, no more, as the Lebanon line just jams that up. Big number 70 for the Blue Devils. That is Mark Wilson getting up off the bottom of the pile.
Lebanon's defense done a great job so far this year, holding both opponents that we've played to right at 100 yards a football game. Last week against Coffee County, 119 yards is all the Red Raiders got, and they got 80 on one play.
Clardy, the halfback, on the carry that time. Boy, they got a big fullback in there, 6'1", 235 senior. And they give it to Clardy on a sweep on the right side, and Carson, along with another Blue Devil over there, is there to jam it up, but the whistle said sounded before that play got underway. And now the official going to make the call, illegal procedure on Springfield. So that's going to set them back 5, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 12 now rather than 2nd and 8.
Defensively for Lebanon, Gannon, Alds, Cantrell, Wilson, Carson across the front. Griffin and Lucas are your linebackers. Pitt, Tressler at the corner. Kelly and C are your safeties.
And for Springfield again, Clemens is your quarterback. DeMond Stewart, 6'1", 235, big fullback. And the tailback is Thomas Clardy, a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore. And you know this guy's got some speed, or they wouldn't have him in that lineup with that kind of size and him being a sophomore.
Well, Springfield's got people who can really move. Their big people are strong and big, and their little people can really run.
Springfield now with a 2nd and 12, more like a 2nd and 13. And the signals, they give it to the big fullback, and nothing going to be there. Boy, Lebanon is just playing defense. Now, there's just nothing happening through the middle of that line. They're going to have to swing it wide if they're going to get anything on this Lebanon defense. Lebanon just jammed that up. He ran into a wall.
Alds and Wilson right there in the middle. And Cantrell, the little nose man, 160 pounds, took on the double team block, and he's kind of the sacrificial lamb in that scheme. He fights that double team to the ground and creates a pile, basically. It cuts down the running angle for the fullback.
Great as that offense was last week, you tend to overlook this defense, but they're only giving up about 120 yards a game, and that is phenomenal after a couple of games. Clemens is ready, barking the signals. Lebanon jumps, but gets back, I think. No, they evidently don't, so this is probably going to cost the Blue Devils here, unless Springfield moved and pulled them off, which I don't think they did.
Cantrell comes out, and Kenneth Nelson will check in at the nose guard spot for the Blue Devils.
5 yards against the Blue now for encroachment. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 7 situation for the Jackets, possibly a passing situation. What about them, Tommy? Do they put it up?
They will throw it, and when they like to throw it, Clyde, they will break out of that wing T set and go to a bit of a spread formation with one back in the backfield.
Receiver to the near side, and that's Curtis Trauber, the split end. And back to throw is Clemens, throwing long down the field. Intercepted by C and dropped at the 49-yard line. C had it. He overthrew his receiver, which was Trauber. I beg your pardon, it was not Trauber. It's number 20, and we'll get a name on him. That's Clint Collins he was going for. He overthrew Collins by about 5 yards and right into the hands of Ron C., and that one was a hello.
It kind of surprised Ron. It got on him in a hurry, and it bounced away harmlessly, so Ron misses the interception. Back, as fate would have it, Collins is the punter. No, he's not. That's Collins. Clemens, the quarterback, goes back in the punt formation. We've got Tressler and Griffin deep to return for the Blue Devils.
Clemens will kick from his 16, and Lebanon should have great field position with this one. Here's the snap, a good snap, plenty of time, and a pretty good kick. We'll go to Tressler, and he's going to field it at the 40, be dropped back at the 39. or maybe the 38. Tressler trying to get away and get a little return on that, but too much speed down there as Thomas Clardy was down to make the stop along with the big guy, Derek Snorton.
Terry, what about the kick?
Kick by Clemens, good for 32 yards. Tressler -2 on the return. Lebanon to take over on their own 38-yard line. 3:37 and counting in the first quarter.
Only time Lebanon had the ball, they took the opening kickoff, drove it downfield, and put 7 on the board. And now let's see if they can go again. C is left, Tressler is right. They hand it off in the middle to Griffin, and boy, they nail him behind the line back at the 36-yard line. They are really keying on Joel Griffin right now, and the Blue Devils going to have to do something here to kind of loosen it up a little bit.
Lebanon out of that overset, that left set, the Liz set, where they've got the fullback over between the guard and the tackle, trying to come back against the grain with Griffin, and Springfield just followed the fullback right to the football.
I think they're looking at Griffin on every play now and just kind of laying their ears back. Pitt, hot pass over the middle, complete, and it's a horse race. 40, 35, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Lebanon to the big guy. The big end just carried it all the way in as Elliott Carson takes it all the way home for the Blue Devils on the hot pass. That'll open it up.
And John, once he caught the football, they could not catch up to the big tight end.
Tommy, they're keying on Joel Griffin, and they're not looking at our tight end, Elliott Carson. Once again, he was not covered. He was wide open, and then once he gets the ball with his speed, it's Katie bar the door. In to do the long snap again is Jeff Gannon. Pitt to hold, Presley to kick. The snap, the hold, it's down, the kick is up. It's no good, it's wide left. This sideline report was brought.
Hello, I'm Joy Ansfelder, a junior football cheerleader here at LHS. We're here with Mr. Alan Bain of Piggly Wiggly, and we would like to thank them for their support and present to them a football souvenir.
Good luck, Lebanon Blue Devils.
Go Big Blue!
Just hit Elliott Carson for his second touchdown pass of the quarter. This one covering 63 yards. The extra point is no good. 2:42 left in the first quarter. Lebanon leading Springfield 13-0.
Blue Devils having trouble with those extra points again. Another miss tonight. Here's Presley's kickoff. Long and deep. This one is going into the end zone, and they will bring it out. That one a yard deep. It actually hit about the one, but the Springfield Jacket kid back there, that's 22, I believe, Deshaun Moorhead. He wanted no part of that, so they'll bring it out to the 20, and Presley really got a foot in that one.
Really leaned into it, and Clyde, maybe he just felt a little antsy after that miss and just drove that football deep. Terry, what about our quarterback throwing the football tonight?
Tommy, he's thrown 2 passes, both of them to Elliott Carson, both of them for touchdowns. You can't do any better than that.
One for 9 yards. How long was that last one?
The last one, 63 yards.
Oh, boy. Here come the Jackets now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Clemens, the quarterback, puts a man in motion, and they hand it to that big fullback, and saw Blue Devil have both hands on that football. They're trying to strip him, but they didn't get it. But he only got about a yard, maybe 2.
Wilson on the tackle, and Gannon is a guy who's trying to grab the football away from that big fullback. And the fullback wasn't giving up the football. That big fella, Stewart, 235 pounds, and that football doesn't look very big in his hands.
He's a load, but the middle of that Lebanon line just jamming him up. He's not going anywhere through that Blue Devil defense unless they spread it a little bit. Clemens ready. Again, a man in motion coming to the near side, down the line on an option, and Lebanon going to have him for a yard loss. Ron C. coming up in a hurry to lead that charge out of the secondary to nail the quarterback Clemens, and a great play by C and a couple of other Blue Devils on that play.
Tell you who really helped that play was Gannon, the defensive end. He kind of played the option soft. He told the quarterback, I'm not going to